They say ghosts aren't real, that spirits don't walk among us, that the strange noises in the middle of the night are just the house settling. But what if I told you that isn't true? Tonight, we're taking you deep into the darkest, most haunted locations in America. Places where spirits roam, whispers echo, and unseen hands reach out from the shadows. But this isn't just another ghost story video. Tonight we have proof. Real photos, videos, EVPs, and eyewitness accounts from people who have stood face to face with the paranormal. So, turn off the lights, grab a blanket, and prepare yourself for the most haunted places in America. Built in 1909, the Stanley Hotel has welcomed guests from all over the world, but some visitors never left. This hotel was the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining, after he stayed here and had a terrifying dream of his son running down the halls, screaming. But the hauntings here are more than just inspiration. They are real. Room 217. The spirit of a housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, lingers here. Guests have reported their bags being unpacked, lights flickering, and even feeling someone get into bed beside them, only to find no one there. The grand staircase. Several photographs have captured ghostly figures standing on the staircase. Some show full apparitions of a woman in period clothing, while others have caught shadowy figures peering from behind the railing. The concert hall. Guests and staff have heard piano music playing late at night, even though no one is there. The ghost of a little boy named Billy has been seen wandering the stage, laughing before disappearing into thin air. Let's take a look at this photo taken by a tourist on the grand staircase. What do you see? Right there, near the railing, a faint figure of a woman in an old-fashioned dress. And here's something even more chilling. A real EVP recording captured in room 217. Listen closely. Did you hear that? A ghostly voice, speaking directly to us. Is Elizabeth Wilson still watching over her guests? Well, Waverly Hills wasn't just a hospital. It was a place where thousands of people took their last breath. Built in 1910 as a tuberculosis sanatorium, patients here were often left to die, alone. It is said that the spirits of those who suffered still wander these halls. Some are lost. Some are looking for revenge. Room 502. A nurse allegedly took her own life here, and her spirit still lingers. Visitors report feeling intense dread, seeing a shadowy figure in the doorway, and even hearing whispers saying, "Get out." The Death Tunnel. This underground passage was used to transport thousands of dead bodies out of the hospital unseen. Investigators have caught shadows darting across the tunnel and recorded ghostly voices begging for help. The Creeper, one of the most terrifying entities at Waverly. This dark, twisted figure crawls along the walls and ceilings, moving unnaturally fast. Paranormal investigators who have encountered it report feeling intense nausea and fear, as if something is watching them, waiting. Look closely. This is not a trick of the light. This shadow moves, then disappears. Paranormal experts say this could be one of Waverly's lost souls, still trapped within these walls. Did you hear that? A child's voice caught in the empty hallways of Waverly Hills. Who or what is still there? The Queen Mary isn't just a ship, it's a graveyard. Launched in 1936 as a luxury cruise liner, the Queen Mary was once a symbol of elegance. But when World War II broke out, it was transformed into a wartime transport vessel, nicknamed the Gray Ghost because of its ability to move undetected. During this time, it carried over 800,000 soldiers, but not all of them made it back alive. Many died on board, some due to accidents, others from disease, and some, tragically, from war. Even after the war, the ship saw its fair share of mysterious deaths and horrifying accidents. To this day, over 150 spirits are believed to still haunt the Queen Mary, making it one of the most paranormally active locations in the world. Perhaps the most famous spirit aboard the Queen Mary is the ghost of John Henry, a young crewman who tragically lost his life in door 13, one of the heavy watertight doors deep in the ship's engine room. On July 10, 1966, during a routine drill, John Henry was crushed to death when the 1,800-pound door suddenly slammed shut. His cries for help were heard throughout the engine room, but it was too late. Since then, countless visitors and crew members have reported seeing his ghost, a dark figure in greasy overalls, standing near the door, before vanishing into thin air. Some have even felt an invisible force grab their arms as they walk past door 13, as if someone is trying to pull them back. Watch this footage captured by a security camera in the engine room. Do you see it? Right there near the door, a shadow figure appears for a brief moment, then is gone. And here's something even more terrifying. A ghost hunter captured this EVP inside the engine room. Listen closely. That was a voice, a clear voice saying, "Help me." Could this be John Henry, still reliving his tragic death? This was once the grand first-class swimming pool, a place of laughter and luxury. But today it's silent, except for the echoes of the past. One of the most famous spirits aboard the Queen Mary is Jackie, a little girl who is said to have drowned in this very pool during the ship's golden age. Guests and investigators have reported hearing the sound of splashing water, even though the pool has been dry for decades. Others have heard giggling, and some have even caught Jackie's voice responding to their questions. That was a child's voice, captured in an empty pool. But Jackie isn't alone here. Some visitors claim to have seen another ghostly woman in a white dress, standing near the pool, staring into the water, before vanishing. Could she be watching over Jackie? Of all the places aboard the Queen Mary, cabin B340 is the most terrifying. So much so that it was sealed off to guests for decades. What happened here? No one knows for sure. But stories tell of a man who was murdered in this cabin, his spirit never finding rest. Terrifying encounters in cabin B340. Guests have woken up to blankets being violently ripped off them in the middle of the night. Some report hearing whispering voices coming from the closet, even though no one is inside. Others say they've seen a dark shadow figure standing at the foot of their bed, watching them. Take a look at this footage, captured by a guest staying in cabin B340. See that? A shadowy figure moves across the room, then vanishes. Did you hear that? A whisper, clear as day, saying, "Get out." Many who have stayed in cabin B340 have left in the middle of the night, refusing to ever return. With over 150 spirits roaming its corridors, the Queen Mary is more than just a haunted ship. It's a floating ghost town. From phantom voices to shadow figures, to violent spirits that rip blankets off guests, the Queen Mary is one of the most terrifying locations in America. Would you be brave enough to spend the night on the Queen Mary? Let us know in the comments below. Tonight, we've explored some of the most haunted places in America. But one question remains. Do you believe? Tell us your own ghost stories in the comments. And if you enjoyed this terrifying journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We have more chilling tales coming soon. I'll see you next time, if you dare.